Well, that'll make you turn your head, won't it? And that's what we're going to do today. Turn the heads of our little man. All right, as promised, we are going to dive into the world of head turning. Turning our head. Turn our head, and we're going to add our basic little flat plain ears to our little guy. You see this guy here in the thumbnail too. I put him there just because he's looking up. And we'll dive into that a little bit more later. But we're really going to focus on turning the head and adding basic little flat plain ears. So what we're going to do to save some time is we're starting with, the last video was the basic 3-inch man. And we're going to do the same man. So we're going to start just with the head. All right, so we're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to turn our head, add some ears. Let's go. In the past, we've always marked a center line on our men. Today's no different, but we're going to do a little bit extra today. So we're going to make this guy look this way on an angle, and what better way to do it than actually use that angle? We can create that angle, less, but today, to keep it simple, we're going right to the corner, give them that 45-degree angle look. All right, same as these guys here. These guys, let's get these guys in place here. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? All right, this guy looking up in the sky. All right, so we're going to take our cross members here and we're going to cross them again. All right. One thing I will say right off the bat that we're going to avoid. See, when we turn the heads, we kind of gain a neck. You see that? We got a neck there. They all have a neck. So in the past, we've always done these guys with a bit of an angle of the head. Today, we're going to keep them level-headed. All right. So if we went 1 1/8 inches down from the head, we're going to do the same thing at the back. So it goes to the old blockhead, all right? So that's about it. So I'm going to, right off the bat, go on the edge here. Now, you see, now I've got my lines here. I'm just going to create basically what this is going to be. Whatever I leave here, like 3/8 flat, that's going to be basically where the ear is, right? So do the same thing, exactly the same thing on the other side. It's a little bit heavier, but you can see, you just work with your lines and say, I love having lines that keep you. You can't go wrong if you follow your lines. All right. So I'm going to use my own advice and do the same on this side. All right. Good enough. All right. There, we've already thinned our head. All right. Now, the back of the head, we've got our lines here again. We're going to lose a lot of that. All right. Getting fairly close to our lines again. So now we got a little pointy shape. All right. Now, just roughly here, I'm just going to come up and just give a little bit of a profile. All right. But let's start working in our neckline here again. Let's get that back. Okay. You can see this side is out in the air and this side's over the shoulder. All right, hold it like that. So we kind of have to allow for a shoulder, keeping it symmetrical with the other side. All right, just kind of undercutting that chin area. And of course you have your safety glove on in case you slip. You go all the way around. That snow that you saw at the birds has not stopped. I have been shoveling snow. We got more snow in the last 24 hours than probably most of the year. kind of nice though. It's kind of nice to have a real winter for a change. But regardless, that's why we're inside carving a little man. So you can see I'm just kind of working around the bottom and getting a bit of that neck. It's a little misleading, so you kind of have to look straight at the guy and then make sure that he's level this way, and I can see that. That's not, so I'm going to bring that up a little bit. Like I said, it's a little misleading when you're looking at square shoulders and turned head, but anyway, there we go. Okay, so like we did in the past, we got our little thing here. We're just going to say, we're going to put the nose wherever we want to put the nose, right? But the hair, let's knock these corners off the top. All right. We want to keep some room for the hair at the top, right? So we're going to put our brow ridge here and the bottom of our nose here. See that? So let's just do it. This is all, I'm not measuring, it's just guesswork. It's not a big deal. I'm going to flatten out his under the nose area a bit. All right. And then for the brow, I'm just going to put a V cut here. Like so. All right. Now, with our angle, we've got our new center line here, right? So I'm going to put my knife on here. I'm going to slide it right in like that. And we're going to come down that side. Same thing here. Slide it right down. There we go. So we know where the bottom of our nose is, and we know where our brow ridge is, and basically that's where your ears go. If I take that brow ridge, come around here, all right? Same on this side, mark it here, and then the bottom of the nose, something like that, something like that, all right? Now, like I said, this is our basic ear, just the flat that we cut on there, right? So I'm just going to go just roughly too. This isn't, you know what? I'm almost going to touch these sidelines, right? Going in about I wouldn't say quite an eighth, but see that? Come up. That gives us our basic ear shape that way. Same over here. Come up, come down. Today's knife I'm using is the 1 3/4 OCC Tools knife. Right. And we look at that and we say, oh, that's pretty close to the same, right? Maybe not. Maybe not, so let's make it. And again, I figured that out just by watching that line that I drew on there. Okay, so now I'm going to come in basically on that bevel. We're just going to make a rectangle for ears right now. Right? That looks more like a square, but ears, it can be any size that you want to make them. They can be tall and skinny, they can be short and fat, they can be big and pointy, but we're just roughing in our ears. A box. I'm going to clean up, make sure all of my wood around the ear is the same height. Okay. And bring that back a little bit. just like so. Same with this one here. Bring it back. Hold on there. That's why a glove is nice. These things are slippery little guys. Okay, now I'm going to look at that. I'm going to say, is that square across? Well, that one seems a little bit lower. No big deal. I'll make it a little bit lower. We haven't set in our ear proper yet. Okay, now we look at it again. I can live with that. All right. Okay. I got a nice skinny head. All right. Now, when I do an ear, all I do is take a corner off this side. All right. Corner off this side. Corner off the bottom. All right. Then I do a long angle across, like that. I take the biggest corner off of there. And that's basically my ear. I want to clean that all up around there. I'm working over this camera and I'm blocking myself. So. Okay. That one. So we do the same thing on this side. You take the corner off there, off the bottom. It's 3 corners off. I'm just going to take a longer, bigger corner off of there. Yeah, just like so. And again, don't like that shape, you can make your own shape, just as long as you have the wood reserved for it, you're golden. All right. So look at that. Now it's going to go around and around. And we're going to leave the cutting of the ears until a little bit later. But now we can see we got lots of rounding to do. Get the head shape. Getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Let's go back to the hair. I'm going to bring the hair up. So, and then back from the ear. Just going to come down like that. Right, let's do this right now. Right from the back of the ear here, I'm just going to go ahead, put a big slice cut in there, and we're going to get that under jaw there. That's a big slice. That. Really thinning that down. Look at that. And the back of the head. All right. Now we're going to come up. We're just going to come up underneath there. We'll definitely put a part in this guy's hair too, so we're just kind of getting the rough shape of his hair. All right. there is our rough hair done. We can do a little stopper here if we want, just to end that hair. And if we do that, we can do the same thing here too. A little dirty, clean her up. All right. Okay, we're going to thin. We gotta get those eyes over here a little bit. All right. So I'm just gonna go in again, bring it over, and come down. Bring it over. When we're looking at our guy from the side, we want to see his eyeball. All right. So, okay. Let's figure out our nose, the width of our nose. Like I said before, I like a fat nose. I'm gonna go in, down. Take out a little smile line. That one. Get a flat spot off his nose. There. I like it. All right. Now, as we do, I want to just thin a little bit. If we were going to put sideburns on, we would just draw them on and cut them in before we did this step, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to flick that in. I want to thin the temple. See how that's a little bit thinner? Thin the temple area here. Okay. Now, let's finish this hair off here too. Let's put a part in there. So a part wherever you want it. So let's just, I'll go to one side. That's what we'll do. All right. Then we're going to come up here and come down here. Take out that little chip. Get rid of all of our saw marks. A little flick of the wrist, a little dip here, dip there. Yeah. Pencil mark here. Then I'm just going to take my knife just to give a little bit of a shadow, undercut that hairline. Not necessary, I just like that little extra little shadow in there. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Same thing over here. Just a whisker. Take a whisker out of there. There we go. Corners off of the. Now we haven't touched her ears again, but I'm going to Remember, I'll draw. We got a little space between our eyeballs here. Right? And from that space, I'm just going to take my knife. And we're going to swoop or just curl it around like that. Go to the little round bottom of the eye. Like that. Right? Same thing over here. Come down. Look at that. Look at that. Well, it can be a little bit flatter here. Okay. All right, I like it. Take that chin down here. I haven't even touched that wood. I'm going to take the face of that off just to get rid of the uncut wood. I like the 3 planes of the barrel of the mouth. And we're not going to get carried away with the mouth. We're just going to come, remember, closer to the nose. Right. Get that way. There we go. Got a little bit too far on that side. How come? How come we did that? We're going to bring it right around then. That's what we're going to do. We'll touch those little smile lines. A little bit of an edge on that upper lip. All right. And then I'm just going to take my bottom lip. I'm just going to flick my knife a little bit. Just rolling it. Soften that edge. Both sides. Still a fuzzy in there. Keep my carving as clean as I can. Okay, there you go. I like them. I like them. As he continues to cut, just leave it alone, Doug. Leave it alone. And then I'm going to put my knife on that smile line. I'm just going to do just a little tick. That just brings the nose flare in, right? Just a little, follow that up. The smallest little chip cut. Okay, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Eyeballs. Eyeballs are just going to go from there. Take my knife, stick it in. Stick it in. Pop the chip out. Same on the other side, exactly the same. Knife in. Knife in. Chip out. Okay. Up here. Knife in. In. Chip out. In. Chip out. Okay. Now we're just just going to join those chips across the top. Just lightly undercut. Like I said in the past video, these little guys, we're just going to paint on the eyebrows. And I'm going to try to carve them. Okay. Join this side. Come across. If you got to make a couple passes, do it rather than push too hard because you'll chip it off. And we had to leave a pencil line. Okay, got some eyeballs. All right. If we want to put a little V cut there, we can. All right. And same thing here. I like to, especially on the not the youngest guys, but a little chip cut there adds a little character. Look at that. If it wasn't for his big box ears, what's that about? Okay, so let's do an ear. I'm just going to angle them. I'm going to hardly even touch the outside, the back edge here. All right? Just going to angle these guys up. I'm going to stick my knife in right here. I'm going to put a center cut, and I'll tell you why. Not that it's going to be noticeable in the end, but I put a center cut there because I'm going to put my knife in here. I'm going to do a little chip cut here. But I have done this in the past without that center cut. That's just a little stopper cut because you don't want to take a big chip. I've had it, I go in and I pop the whole top of the ear off. So a little center cut. Okay. We'll just take some angles off there. That's a big ear, but you can put extra little cuts, but I don't bother. See, that side, that side. Let's do it again. I just got to put that angle on there. I put a little stopper cut here. Center cut there. If we have to run over a couple of times, we can do that. And soften up the edges. Come on. Bam. There you go. Just like that. Now look at my neckline again. And I gotta hold it like this to get that square. All right, there you go. He's looking at that guy saying, what are you looking at? I probably should put a collar on this guy, but let's just add a collar. This is how I do a collar. V-cut here. Down. See that? Yeah, a little chip cut. This gives him a little collar on his sweater. Here's the under sweater shirt. All right. Okay. Let's make this guy come alive. Oh, hello. Look at what a little dab of the pencil does. Oh. Okay, so after a little cleanup, a little tweaking, a little bit of water on there, there is our little turned head character. Just really does give him a little bit more character. Really like just little subtle things. So anyway, we're gonna keep on with little guys like that, but the next one may be a little bit different, maybe in a timely fashion for time of year. We'll see what I can come up with, but anyway, I can't stop playing. Give his pockets a little bit better. Look at that guy. I like him. So, all right. See you in the next one. Hopefully you understood what I was talking about. It felt a little bit rushed as it normally does, but still playing with it. I just gotta leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay. Bye, guys. See you in the next one.